Hello, hypothetical viewers, and welcome back to Shining Force Gaiden. We are finally confronting Woldol. Here he is, and the monster he has summoned that he is trying to strengthen up so it can destroy the world. So that's crazy. I believe this is a two-part battle. This is part one, and then once we finish this part, there'll be a part two. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that part two is we think we've won, but then the monster turns into whatever the hell it's gonna turn into, and then we have to fight it as a giant nonsense monster, which usually happens in Shining Force. Just my guess, but I don't actually know. Term to term, we're definitely gonna want to kill that evil bishop first, as we've been doing in every battle for ages now since the evil bishop has been introduced, basically. It's like a hella annoying enemy. Let's bust out Bolt, why not? We can actually hit everybody. Nick never quite got enough MP. I guess he can technically use Bolt to once and still have enough for egress, but you know, he's not exactly a main magic user, you know. It's more just a little extra skill he has. His true strength is hitting things with swords, as fitting of the hero class. Okay. So yeah, this is another battle where the playfield is fairly small. We're sort of packed in. And we're basically just facing a lot of dangerous enemies, and we just gotta blast our way through. So it's gonna be a very tense battle, I think. You know, lots of action as we try to overcome a lot of foes at once. Gotta get to that bishop first. So at least we can finish off this executioner with stock. One less enemy for us to worry about, and then I guess we just gotta blast down Woldol and the monster. I don't even know which is the boss. It feels like Woldol should be the boss of something, because he's a fairly important character, but the monster, obviously, like, plot-wise, we have to kill this monster, you know? To stop it from, like, reaching full power or whatever. Oh, ouch, this could be it for Yisha, she's fragile. So, Woldol doesn't even need any items. Apparently he attacks by, like, clapping his hands together and smashing you, I guess. He's, like, smashing the sides of your face or something. Curse smack. That was pretty soft. Yeah, I'll have Apis start off on the evil bishop just so he doesn't ruin all of our hard work defeating Woldol the monster. Very good, Apis. Definitely a star member of the Shining Force for sure. And Shade should be able to take us home with the evil bishop, and then we'll be able to start blasting down Woldol and monster. Good job, Shade. Party members. Our party members who were kind of already leading in levels are really getting quite strong. This is nothing to do but just start attacking. The mages definitely don't shine as much with single target enemies because we still didn't get them their level 4 spells. If they had the level 4 spells, they could do quite well, but well, they don't, basically. I am gonna heal up Yisha. She really only needs heal level 1 because she has so little HP that heal level 1 can bring her almost back to full. Even with 2 cheerful breads, she's still so fragile. Okay, gonna have Nick also attack Woldol. I'm hoping we can take him down pretty fast because he doesn't have that much HP. I think the monster is like the real danger here, but this way he won't be constantly boosting everything. Man, he really wants to murder Yisha. She is not the primary threat in our party, buddy. Other characters can do a lot more damage to you. Okay, this should finish off Woldol, and then we can start fighting the monster. There we go. Man, Woldol, for a guy who's been like kind of the man behind the man this whole time and controlling all the other monsters, you're very weak. You're all so young. But as long as the monster lives, I will not die. You will be his first meal. So maybe this is kicking off the second half of this battle. Or he just has a quote he says. Maybe killing the monster is what starts the next bit. I'm kind of assuming. Man, it's weird looking. It's like crawling out of a hole in the ground. Kind of freaky. I think I'll have Yisha just attack this guy because I don't want her to get out from behind the front lines and then get killed because her HP is still quite low. And the Executioner is kind of in the way here, so it's, you know, it's good to finish him off. Gaiden, show off your new attack with the power ring. Gaiden. I mean, that was certainly better, but it still didn't quite finish him off. Hopefully wrap this up and then just go full on monster attack. And I'm gonna go stock attack the monster because he's hella strong, you know. He can make a good start. We also have the Skull Knights approaching us from the top of the map, so, you know, we may have to fight some other stuff too. Ugh, the monster is really strong. Bolt level 3, this is gonna hurt. Oh, the monster's very weird looking. Yeah, this is doing like 30 points for every single person in range. That is gonna be a very difficult enemy to fight. Shoot. Yisha was not quite far away enough. And we also have to contend with these guys. Anything where you have one stationary target that you just have to attack for a really long time, and it can do that much damage to every character in a large range, it's just real tough. I'm gonna have Domingo just finish off the Executioner real quick so he's not lurking around back here. Because the thing is, these weaker enemies could finish us off after we get hit with Bolt, so... This is a hard battle. Okay, Apis, keep attacking. All we can do is just try to stay healed up, I guess, and just keep trying to blitz him down. And then there's a second half to this fight. That's gonna be tough. If we make a kill, then I'm having to redo it. Maybe I shouldn't have moved him. He's no longer in range for Aura. But, oh well. We'll heal up everyone else. Aura 3. Oh wow, Aura 3. That heals a lot. Man, Mayfair is like the perfect character for this battle because she can actually heal up the damage from Bolt. And she just keeps getting stronger. Maybe this is a battle where it wouldn't be so bad to, I'll have him quickly heal Apis. It wouldn't be so bad to bring Amigo and have a second healer just to mitigate some of the damage, because there's only so many characters we can actually get next to the boss. So some of our melee fighters may end up being slightly redundant anyway. We'll have to see. Nick, gotta get in there and hit him. We're getting there. He has a lot of HP though, and so much MP that basically he has infinite MP. Wendy's not quite in position to attack him. Trying to spread our forces out a little just so we're not literally all inside the same Bolt attack. At least some of us will live, maybe. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have put him all the way up here though, because now he'll aggro all of these enemies. But I do want to avoid having everyone be so clustered that they're all hit by Bolt. Decisions. Yeah, wow, only 2 melee people can actually attack him anyway, because of the hole on either side of him. Well, I guess Roos can go beat up some of these extra dudes. Gotta fight the ads. I'm gonna move Claude over the hole. Since he's a flying character, he doesn't have to take up one of the melee spots. One more attack should do it. Stock. Bring us to phase 2. Now the second phase of this battle should start. Very good stuff. Okay. Woldol is back. I can't believe it. How? Why? My beautiful creature, gone. I've got to get out of here with my treasure. Oh, I bet this is Lug probably. I think this is making me think that this definitely is Luke from Shining Force 1 because he also had a perfectly spherical nose, if I recall correctly. And he had dark hair. I don't remember whether it was brown or black, but that's like a graphical difference. But and he did have a smiling face. I think this is indeed Luke. Hold it, Waldo. You're staying here, thanks to Luke. How did he even get here? Why was he back there? Why don't we attack him? By the way, were you looking for this? Luke held up the Sword of Hajya. So you can see how this is connected to the next one, Shining Force Sword of Hajya. I don't know what the fuck the Sword of Hajya is, by the way, or why it's called Sword of Hajya. I think it's basically the Force Sword from literally every other Shining Force game. It just has a different name. Look, where did you find that? Give it to me. Not a chance. This is why you wanted Cypress, isn't it? Iom is no match for its magic, and so you had to destroy it. See, it basically has the plot role of the Chaos Breaker the Force Sword had said. You're right. That sword stands between me and Iom's power, and anyone who knows its secret must die. Iom wills it. He jumped on the throne so he could enter the boom tube and be summoned by Iom, I guess. Or maybe he's getting powered up by this? It's unclear. He's using the power of the mother boxes to transform into his ultimate form. He's Steppenwolf. He turned into a scorpion? That's kind of weird. Nick, defeat Woldol. Attack him with the Sword of Hajya. Do it now for Guardiana and the world. It's a little underwhelming that he just turned into a scorpion. I thought he was going to turn into like one of those ginormous monsters that these games usually have you fight. So let's check out this map. We're just going to carry on. We're only about halfway through the video. The first one is short battle. It's the same map. There's new enemies though. We have the Taros. It looks maybe like a lizard person? Not sure. The Sentinel, which looks like a differently colored Taros. We do have an evil bishop all the way back here who we're going to have to deal with. We have new friend Lug, the gladiator, who has the Sword of Hajya, so we're going to have to give that to Nick. And we have our boss, Woldol. Man, he's nasty looking for sure, but yeah, basically he is a scorpion. I also don't know why he has question mark MP when he doesn't have magic. Seems slightly pointless. This is leading right into the next battle, so sadly we cannot bring back Isha without refighting both battles. She just has so much less HP than everyone else. But she ended up getting caught in Bolt 3, you know, it was just unfortunate spacing. Spacing is key in many games. Okay, so now we are going to give the Sword of Hajya to Nick. I think we want to be a little cautious here and maybe deal with some of the ads first, because we are going to want to go up and kill the cleric, obviously, so that he doesn't heal up the boss. And I think taking out some of these golem-y dudes, or whatever they are, the Taros, will just help avoid us being like attacked from behind and stuff. So I guess we'll find out how strong these guys are. Pretty strong, honestly, considering that in the last battle the ads were doing like 1 damage. Stock doesn't have that much defense either though, so, you know, the other characters will probably be fine. Yeah, I think we'll have to kind of clear out the ads first. This will probably go over the normal length of the video, but it's fine. It's the grand finale, so it'll be like, you know, the super long, you know, grand finale bonanza or whatever. As we defeat Woldol, a dude who turned into a scorpion for reasons that are unclear. It's just unclear. Also, he was summoning this monster to destroy the world, and it turned out to be not that big of a deal. So that was sort of odd as well. But yeah, so far this is the only Shining Force game I've played where you don't fight something ginormous at the end, because in Shining Force 1 we fought Dark Dragon, which was huge and had 3 different heads and stuff. It was crazy. And then in Shining Force 2, we fought Xeon, which was also like a large size enemy, like different. It was like a wall. It was huge. It was different than standard enemy. And in Sword of Hajya, which I played as a child, you fight like this thing that's you fight Iom. I feel like it's not spoilers. We can see Iom as the bad guy in this game. Well, he's also the bad guy in that game. They're since the two stories are tied together. You know, it's sort of Hajya's direct sequel of this game. So Iom is still menacing us, and you fight like this giant statue-y thing that's like Iom or whatever. But in this game, apparently, we're just gonna fight a single tile enemy, like normal, which is so surprising. It's not typical of Shining Force. I'm pretty sure this is the final battle. I mean, we got the Sword of Hajya and everything, so I don't think there's anything past this. It's very, very atypical for the series. Why did the Sentinel just stand there and do nothing? That's so strange. Man, since Shining Force, like the CD, like this game, which has both of the Gaiden games, was on a single disc, it would be so cool if there was like you got something for like based on your old save when you go to play the second book. I mean, not that would apply in this case because we haven't managed to save the game at all. It's all save states. I should look up if there's a way to save on this emulator before I start the next one because that would certainly help. Man, the enemies are strong enough that even Mayfair, our strongest character, is getting good X for killing them. That's impressive. Even though they don't seem very tough. Maybe they're just here in case, like, you're a bit underleveled, so it's like, don't worry, these enemies that aren't particularly dangerous but do give a lot of X will allow you to catch up a little. Slowly working our way up to the evil cleric, to the evil bishop or whatever, to deal with him first before we fight Woldol. The sky is red, so it makes me think maybe he's vulnerable to ice and resists fire. Yay! Still no new spell. We're never gonna see the level 4 spell. This is not happening. It's also so weird that there's just this giant scorpion sitting on the throne. It's just like, what is happening? Cloud got really strong. I feel like I always overlevel the bird characters just because I like them so much. So I end up using them in like every fight. Okay, at least Wendy's a little protected now. She was vulnerable to multiple melee attacks before. So we'll keep trying to just clear out these Tauros. Aw, man. Gaiden did his best, but oh, he got 2 attacks! Yay! Good job, Gaiden. He pulled that one out of the in the clutch and got a good level up. Honestly, I feel like if I oh wow, he does have magic. He wasn't listed as. Oh, he spits demon breath. That's why. Man, he is going to be very difficult to kill because he can do that much damage to that many people, and he's a moving boss. And he has basically infinite HP and MP. Well, infinite MP, and he has so much HP that he has, like... He's in the blue bar section. Yeah, and then these other enemies can just finish this off. I guess we really do have to try and not aggro him, but the enemies stand pretty close to the throne room. This may be a battle where we have to egress and do it again. I don't know. It's pretty challenging. It does feel like a slightly bullshit challenge just because it's like, well, you have to fight this enemy, so let's just make it an enemy where it has like 300 HP and it can do more than half your health as often as it wants to a 3x3 area. Because maybe we should swap in Amigo. But yeah, it does feel slightly like a bullshit challenge. Because there's nothing we can do about that. In order to attack him, we have to be near him. And with a 3x3 area, we really can't avoid having multiple characters in range of it. You know, that's just how it is. And I guess at least this AI doesn't use it every turn, but What is happening here? That attack took fucking forever and it only did 7 damage. But he got 2 attacks in a row. I mean, he's definitely a super strong enemy, but I felt this about the other Shining Force bosses too, and I'll acknowledge that in tactics games, seriously, the Evil Bishop respawns? Are we just gonna have to keep someone up there to fight him? Because if the Evil Bishop just heals him, then that also feels slightly bullshit. Because again, there doesn't seem to be anything we can do about that. Sometimes he just doesn't take damage? Oh, that's right, I'm being an idiot. You have to attack him with the Sword of Hajya, that's right. Nothing works before that. Let's quickly pop off an aura to just heal everybody up. Is there a way to get... I guess this is the best arrangement. Yeah, I forgot you have to hit him with the Sword of Hajya first before anything will happen. But it's still very difficult regardless. And the Shining Force bosses have a tendency of being like this, where they just do tons of damage to multiple people. And there's nothing you can really do about that. It's just a race against time. Tactics RPGs, it's hard to make a challenging, interesting fight that... A fight that is both hard and interesting that is against a single enemy, because they're games that are all about having one army fight another army, right? Oh, we finally got Blast 4, hey. I shouldn't get the level spell 4s until way later. That's kind of sad. I guess we'll just finish off this guy. Well, not finish him off, but do a bit of damage anyway. Yeah, this may be a battle we end up egressing from. Because look at this, he just can do this very frequently, and we have to wait for Nick's turn to make him vulnerable to damage at all. I think ultimately we're gonna... This may be a battle where we egress. If I have to egress, then I will fight through the first part of the battle before starting the video again, just so it's not completely boring. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have Cray move up here, because maybe he can just get in front of the Evil Bishop and deal with that. Okay, let's equip the Sword of Hajya. At least it's really strong. Did we correctly equip the ring? Yes, we did. Okay, good. And then break his invincibility. But he counters that? Jeez, that's... Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Nick's arm turns to stone in the next game. This must be why, because it got poisoned in his fight with Woldol. That makes slightly more sense now, at least. That's why his arm turned to stone, thus starting off the plot of the second game. Yeah, so I think he has about 250 odd HP, which is pretty absurd. We may or may not win this. We'll have to see. Hopefully Mayfair will get her turn again soon and we can heal up. If not, we may swap someone out for Amigo. We can't attack right now, so I'm going to fish off the Tara so we can open up this melee spot next to Woldol. And Cray will hopefully get his turn soon enough to stop the Bishop from approaching. But yeah, so I guess the plot of the two games actually ties together very closely. It's kind of funny that having your arm poisoned turns it to stone. It's like, what the hell kind of poison does that? It's very weird. But yeah, that's sort of the thing that kicks off the plot of the second game, the need to heal Prince Nick. I guess Bolt does the most damage. Even though it's a bit silly using it on a single target. Actually, it didn't do all that much. Maybe he just resists magic. Well, that's the end of Wendy, unfortunately, but, you know. What can one do? We have to get next to him and be close to him in order to fight. And our healer does not get an infinite amount of turns, because again, this is an enemy that appears to be fairly fast. Well, at least this guy is distracted by Cray and not attacking and not healing Woldol. If Woldol gets healed, that's going to be really annoying. We've almost gotten him down into the range where the numbers are visible. There we go. So we've done more than half his health. He just has such an absurd amount of health. Okay, I'm trying to figure out the best pattern to use for this. Okay, I think I'm gonna put her here and have her be the center. Yeah, that should get everybody. Because I want to be able to get Stock and Prince Nick. And obviously herself, but, you know, she'll be in range of it. Maybe Nick was already healed up? I didn't think he was. Well, we got Claude as well, so we got some of our worst injured people. Ah, but she only has so many more spells. If we can't beat him this time, maybe I will bring in Amigo. Backup healer. Let's try and blast down the evil bishop. If only Cray could get a second attack there. Let's keep it hanging, Woldol. We'll send someone else to kill the bishop as soon as we can, because that is a priority. Yeah, the fact that he counterattacks is pretty bullshit. It doesn't even do that much, but it just pisses me off because I'm like, he's already really hard. Well, I think that they're all healed up, I believe, so. But you can see how this is not easy to deal with because of the massive amounts of damage that it does. Like, this is a really powerful attack. It would be difficult even if it did 10 less damage than that. Yeah, I'm actually going to send Claude to deck Evil Bishop because the Evil Bishop healing Woldol will heal back more than Claude's attack could even do. We're pretty close. We may lose some more characters, but hopefully we can pull through on this. Gaiden still actually cannot... Yeah, does he have any items? No. So I'm just going to move over here so he won't be in the immediate danger zone because he can't attack anyway. And if somebody else dies, we can move him back in. We're really close. We need like 2 more attacks. Come on, Roos. Gotta bring this home. Very close. And yeah, Domingo should be able to do it. This should do at least 2. Even with magic resist. Good job, Domingo. As a wizard, you arrived exactly where you needed to be. And with that, I believe we have beaten the game. Ow! Ah! Amazing last words, Woldol. The building appears to be collapsing. Aw, here's the whole force. Did we win? Yes, Apis, we won. We have the sword and Woldol's gone. Wow, he turned into a giant scorpion. That was pretty much my reaction too. He turned into a giant scorpion? Roos, don't worry. At least Lug is safe. Father, I'm so glad to see you. My friends and I couldn't let you disappear. We joined forces to come after you. We joined shining forces. Roos, we had heard that brave warriors were on the way. But I had no idea that my own son would be among them. And we brought him all the way to the final battle, too. Oh no, Prince Nick, the poison made him twirl around. You can tell he's hurt. Twirling in this game is a bad sign. What's wrong with you? Not everybody got to have a voiced line in the ending. Nick, your right arm has turned to stone. It's also sort of weird that the poison only affected his arm. I guess it's because it's his sword arm. I don't know. You fought bravely and well for one so young. But this was just the beginning of a much larger invasion. Nick, to heal your arm, you will have to face me another time. I'm assuming that's the voice of Ione. Thus, Nick and the Shining Force restored peace to Cyprus and Guardiana. And Nick presumably becomes the king. Here's Henri again. Thank you all. Guardiana is grateful for your bravery. And Nick has sacrificed his right arm for victory. Your Majesty, Cyprus plans to send soldiers into the depths of the continent. Then I will send Guardiana's best warriors to help them. It would be an honor to go, Your Majesty. We can help King Nick restore his arm. We owe him at least that much. To Cyprus. I do like Henri's updated, like, older portrait. Her hair is styled, like, the shading is really nice. Oh, and here's everybody standing in the throne room. Very nice. I'm assuming this is the credits.
With the alliance of Guardiana and Cyprus, they succeeded in waking Queen Anri. With her waking, peace was once again restored to Guardiana and Cyprus. But as long as the right arm of the prince remains as stone, no one can escape from the shadow of the evil Eom Empire.
Apparently it's Eom, not Iom. I like Iom better. Eom! It just sounds weird. But yeah, so the two Gaiden games really are just direct sequels. They feel more like part of the same story. They're like really close together. The Another Story of Shining Force. That's an amazing translation. The Another Story. GG original staff. Good going, original staff. Oh, we get to see all the battle backgrounds. That's fun because the battle backgrounds are really nice and I like them a lot. I also like this font a lot. It kind of reminds me of I forget the name of it now, but it was like the font I used for everything in middle school, like with word art and stuff. um, oh, I wish I could remember the name. Was it Papyrus? It might have been the one, but you know that one that like literally everybody used for everything. I still like it. But yeah, so this was the first of the two Gaiden games. They're actually tied together in story much more than I even realized. I wasn't sure whether, sometimes you have sequels that like there's a gap in time between the two stories, but here there pretty much isn't. Like one, Sword of Hajya starts like right at the end of this one basically. But yeah, I feel like this makes the plot of Sword of Hajya make a lot more sense. When I played it as a kid, there were a lot of random things that I was like, because the game pretty much starts with Prince Nick's right arm was turned to stone and all this stuff, and then that's just sort of the background. I'm like, who are all these people? But as a kid, you don't question it. You're just like, oh sure. But it makes much more sense now. This obviously, this was just a side story. It's a short game compared to the main series games. And it doesn't like go super in depth on any of the story beats or anything, but it was definitely fun. I enjoyed playing it. I thought the characters were fun. And it does have the nostalgia factor for me because of Shining Force Sword of Hajya from my childhood. I'm very excited to play Sword of Hajya next. And like the plot is connected to this game, but honestly, I played it as a kid and it is comprehensible without having played this game. So it's like another half of the story, but like it has its own set of characters and stuff. Admittedly, it does definitely, if you haven't played this game first, playing Sword of Hajya as a kid, it did feel like it sort of started kind of in the middle of another story that you don't know. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, anyway, these guys are doing stuff now. But this ties it together a little more. Yeah, and it was definitely, honestly, I enjoyed Shining Force 1 a lot, so it was really fun to have this game where we play with an army that has like the children of the characters from Shining Force 1, and like, they're all grown up now and they've become the Shining Force, so that was very cool. But yeah, I wouldn't say this game has like an amazingly deep story or anything. It definitely just kind of goes through, the plot and doesn't go super in depth on any of the characters or anything, but it has kind of that old school charm where it's just like, we're fantasy characters on a fantasy adventure fighting this guy. And honestly, you could write a more detailed story using this basic plot and have something pretty good. I think it has merit as a story and as a narrative, even though the game itself doesn't go super deeply into that narrative. And all the art was really nice. I think the Shining Force games in general have nice art. This is a really great ending screen. It looks super pretty. The shading on the moon is really pretty. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And next, we'll be picking up the second half, Shining Force Sword of Hajya. I think I'll actually make a save state here as well, on the off chance that there is some way to save the game, just so we can go back to this. If there's a way to like save and continue, I don't know if there is. There may not be. Probably not, but yeah, you can't save after the last battle. So I guess there's no like equivalent of New Game Plus or whatever. Guardiana Library. Let me put these books in order, and then it just said 1. So does that indicate that we finished the first one, or what? Oh, so there is a save now. There wasn't before. I tried saving the game multiple times and got nothing. But inner backup, I don't even know what that means. Nick Hero, level 6. He was not level 6. I don't know why it says number 1 to 17 either. That's confusing. Yeah, it doesn't have an option for new game. It just says continue. Let's see what happens. Maybe is something going wrong here? We do have the save states if necessary, but yeah, for some reason it appears to have, maybe it can only save at the chapter breaks. Well, in that case, let's load the state I just made, fortunately. How can we get to part 2? Well, this is going to be a conundrum to puzzle over. I'm genuinely baffled. You know what I think it might be, though? Between each chapter, at the close of the chapter, it says, do you want to save? It could be that for some reason, those save prompts are working and the individual prompts that you can do at camp are not, because I tried many times. Maybe you can only have one save game, so I'll be required to delete the data? I'll go back and mess around with this and see if there's any way to get it to figure out that I already beat chapter 1 and now I want to play chapter 2. It would appear that you cannot do both chapters on the same file, I guess. But yeah, I'll work on that and see if I can figure out what the hell is going on with this. I have the save state before the final battle, so maybe I'll go back and try saving there and see if I can get that to work or something. I don't know if but there was no option to save at the end of the game, so there would be no way to have a completed save. We may just have to delete the data and do the next book. That may be the only option. But regardless, the save states are still present, so that should be fine. But yeah, just rambling on about the mechanics of this emulator at the end of the game here. But yeah, that was fun. Thank you for watching this whole series, hypothetical viewers, if indeed any such person will ever exist who would watch this whole series. I hope that you enjoyed seeing Shining Force Gaiden. I definitely did. I didn't play it as a kid, so it was really fun to kind of go back and see this missing piece of the Shining Force story, and I hope you will look forward to Shining Force Sword of Hajya, which I'm pretty excited about because I really loved that game as a kid. Yeah, so this has been Shining Force Gaiden. We've seen the whole story, and I hope you will look forward to the continuation in the sequel.